500. There's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded.
Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine.
Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash.
Guys, mark your calendar.
And tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th at Lafayette's premier gentleman's establishment,
Michael's Men's Club.
Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 7 sharp.
Tickets $30 at the door.
Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The American League took home the Midsummer Classic crown last night after beating the National League 4-0. Yankees' Cody Bellinger and Ben Rice picked up back-to-back RBI to give the AL a 3-run lead in the first. Then in the 8th, Miguel Vargas hit a solo shot to left to seal the 4-0 win. The MLB All-Star break will continue today with the regular season getting back underway tomorrow night with the Phillies hosting the Mets. Spain is heading back to the World Cup final after knocking off France 2-0 yesterday in the World Cup semifinals in Dallas. With that win, Spain has now beaten France in 3 straight semifinal matches and will now play in the World Cup final for the second time in their history. Spain will get the winner of today's semifinal matchup between England and Argentina. The last time these two teams met was in 2005, while their last competitive matchup came in the group stage of the 2002 World Cup. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. LSU football has released the names of the 3 attendees that will be accompanying Coach Kiffin to Tampa Bay next week for SEC Media Days. Linebackers TJ Daugherty and Whit Weeks and tight end Tradez Green will represent LSU at the podium. The Tigers are scheduled to speak next Thursday, the last day of the event. McNeese Athletics announced yesterday that they will have a new sponsorship patch on all jerseys for the upcoming year. Navarre Chevrolet, who also holds the naming rights to Cowboy Stadium, will have their sponsorship patch on all Cowboys and Cowgirls jerseys moving forward. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome into RP3 and Meche as we are broadcasting live from inside the Beelan A. Bear studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beelan A. Bear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, or as Mr. Bobby says, 2 out of 3. And I'm joined once again inside the studios by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Yogurt U champion in 2027, 28, just saying, James Meche. He's back here with us yet again. Came back from vacation yesterday. It was glorious. He decided he still likes us and decided to come back for another day. We appreciate you for that, by the way.
Yeah, so far so good.
We got a great show lined up for you today. We got 2 guests, both in hour number 2. We're going to talk about the sorry state of the New Orleans Pelicans. Yes. With our buddy Ali Cassell, get his thoughts on what's happening, or rather what's not happening, and what's he hearing. Now, there's been some rumblings that they may be shaking some things up here. They're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting. So we'll talk all things Pels and a little NBA with our buddy Ali Cassell at 12 o'clock. At 12:30, We're going to get a preview of the Open Championship, which tees off tomorrow across the pond. Golf's fourth and final major of the year with our buddy Scott Rabelais of the Baton Rouge Advocate. We'll also talk a little LSU with him as well as we get starting to get ramped up for SEC Media Days next week. So those are the two guests that we got lined up for you today, both in hour number 2. Here in hour number 1, we got plenty to get to. Major League Baseball All-Star Game was last night. I have some thoughts. I watched it pretty much from start to finish. I loved the fact that there were certain guys that actually played and other guys that just walked the red carpet and just sat in the dugout and did nothing. I'm talking to you, National League pitchers. Just saying. Just saying. So much so, that's become such a controversy that Rob Manfred even started to address it, that they may have to change the rules of things, because there was a bit of a outcry about that. So we'll talk about Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. We'll look ahead to the Open Championship as well, give some thoughts there on some golfers that I like. And we also have some news to get to as well before we dive into today's specials and our poll question of the day. These are some news and notes that happened in the last 35, 40 minutes. One, Burt Jones, a great player at LSU, a great quarterback in the early 70s. He's the only LSU player to ever win NFL MVP honors, by the way. Burt will finally have his jersey retired. His number 7 will be retired. LSU made the announcement this morning. We'll have a blog about it a little bit later on at ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com. That the legend Burt Jones will have his jersey retired during the November 14th home game versus Texas. That's right, the Longhorns. So that adds a little bit extra something to that matchup between LSU and Texas. That's also going to be, of course, Arch Manning's first game in college in the state of Louisiana. So Burt Jones is going to have his jersey retired, his number 7 jersey retired later this year during the football season. Also, the Houston Astros are starting to be active at the trade deadline. We do not have all the specifics yet. Brian McTaggart was the first on this from MajorLeagueBaseball.com. Of course, he was the longtime Astros beat reporter for the Houston Chronicle before going to MLB.com. Lance McCullers Jr. is being traded to the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, McCullers, of course, was part of 2 World Series teams. He helped the Astros win those 2 World Series in 17 and 22. But Lance, also as beloved as he is by the fan base and as well as respected as he is in that clubhouse, this is a guy that's missed 3 seasons completely due to injury. 1 to Tommy John, and then he had a flexor issue and bone spurs. That made him miss 23, if you remember. And then he was slow to recover. There were some issues in his recovery, and they shut him down, and he never even pitched in 24. Since he's been back, he hasn't been very good. He's actually on the IL right now. He's starting to do some rehab assignments down in Sugar Land. When he did pitch earlier this year, he wasn't very good. But a guy that's been a linchpin part of that run that the Astros were on has now been shipped to the Milwaukee Brewers. That's not all. They're throwing in left-handed pitcher Colton Gordon as well into that deal. We do not know what the Stros are getting back in return. I do know it seems like a bit of a salary dump for Houston as they're trading McCullers. You would expect that they're not trading 2 of their pitchers and not getting anything in return, but I could be wrong here. This could be a move to make another move, so to speak, right? Milwaukee's going to add some pitching depth as they're going to make their push in the second half. You shed some salary if you're Houston, and that frees you up maybe to go and trade for somebody else. We're still working on all the parameters here of this deal. We'll share that with you, but that now only leaves 2 guys left on the roster from the 2017 World Series team. Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. And remember, Carlos left and came back. That's it. That's it. It's not even 10 years ago. So that's some breaking news that we needed to make sure to share with you before we got started today. But let's go ahead and get things rolling on a Wednesday, and let's do so with today's specials.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
We were told, and have been told, by sports bettors, by sports books, by soccer experts, including our very own Blake Purser, that France was not going to lose. They were the clear betting line favorite to win the whole thing. We were told over and over again for the past 2 months that France was the best team in this World Cup, correct?
Yeah.
Mbappe was in line to get the Golden Boot, which is to the player who scores the most goals during the World Cup. He's tied with Messi, I do believe, for the lead there. They have, you could argue, the best player on the planet right now. Messi's towards the tail end. He's still great. He's still the GOAT, but some will tell you that Mbappe is the best soccer player on the face of the earth. France was the best team. And not to forget that they won in 18, remember? And then they finished as runner-up to Argentina in 22, the last World Cup over there in Qatar. They had their longtime manager. He's been part of this for a long time. France has won 2 World Cups, all since 1998, by the way. They have 2 runner-ups and 2 championship trophies. No way that France was going to lose. But the one wrinkle about that narrative was Spain has kind of had their number over in the Euros, right? And traditionally in the World Cup. Even though Spain only has the 1 World Cup championship, they've only been to the World Cup final once in their proud history. They usually make it to the round of 16, right? Sometimes they make it to the final 4, but they've only been there once. But Spain has beat them in international competition. And this Spain team, with their great defense, where they just make you play their game, you know, they're a World Cup away. They're a young team, right? That's what we kept getting told.
Especially with their young star and Lamine Yamal, who's
19?
Yeah, 19.
19?
Like fresh 19, too.
But ever since they drew to a draw against Cape Verde in group play, Spain has been a machine, have they not?
Yeah, they've started to really figure things out as of late.
Well, they sure did figure out France. 2-0. 2-0. They get the first goal on a penalty kick, which was majestic. And then the second goal, they tricked the defense and they tricked the goalie, and that was textbook. Like, that's when I say they appear to be like a machine, because they just carved up the French defense and said, suck the goalie out, done, goal. Like, you and I were watching the replay of it earlier, and you're like, guys get fired for missing that goal, and they didn't miss the goal, but what's most impressive is how they attacked the French defense, and done. They play defensive-minded soccer. They suffocate you. Mbappe was not himself yesterday, and Spain beats France 2-0 to advance to the World Cup final on Sunday. They take out the favorite, and they do so, and let's be honest, it was pretty convincing.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse than 2-0. It felt like a 4-0 kind of contest or 4-1 kind of contest. It wasn't. It was only 2-0. But I never felt, after the penalty kick, I never felt that France was in control.
Yeah, like throughout this tournament, a big part of why France felt so dominant and unbeatable was the fact that anytime there was an opportunity for them to kind of go, like, using basketball terms, go on a fast break,
yep,
and really put it on the opposing defense, They absolutely took advantage time and time again. The issue was Spain never really gave France those opportunities. So they kind of felt like they were in a box at times, and they didn't get the opportunities that they usually do. Really, guys, especially Kylian Mbappe, didn't really bring his best stuff. And for the second goal specifically, watching it back, I thought France was playing good enough defense in the box because they forced one of the Spanish players went for a shot. It hit off of a French defender, ricocheted backwards. They kind of had to reset the offense in a sense. And it kind of happened again where they passed it closer to the middle, right at the edge of the box. But the French defender tried to get it, but got blocked off by a Spanish guy. The ball ends up getting kicked in the open field. The guy who passed it came right back for it. It was Pedro Porro. And by that point, shout out to Pedro. At that instance, like, because of how open the goal is at that point, and there's no other French defenders to block off the shot, the goalie has to come up in that sense to close the space.
He has to. And to your point, but that whole sequence, how Spain responds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, because I'm not a soccer guy, but what I watch is in midstream, so to speak. They make adjustments on the fly extremely well.
Yeah, like the French defenders at that point, they couldn't realign themselves in time, and they just didn't get back. Into the right spots to be able to block off that shot. So it put the goalie in a bad spot. He had to come up to try and close the space, and then at that point, like I said, when we were watching it back and watching the goal back, that type of shot, you always have to make it when you're the striker, when you're the goal scorer, the one taking the shot. Like that, in an opportunity like that, because the goalie's in a desperate spot, you have to absolutely make that. And luckily enough for Pedro, he was able to make it. Going back to the first goal though, where it was a PK by Mikel, that one was interesting because Lamine Yamal, who 2 days ago turned 19 years old. That's how fresh of a 19-year-old he is.
He is a pup, man.
He turned, and I mean, he's been the youngest player for years now to score accomplish all these types of things in the world of soccer. So he's amazing, and he's going to be awesome to watch for World Cups to come. But watching him, he was able to draw the penalty because it was just inside the box. It was a high arcing shot that ricocheted all the way up. And the French defender was just trying to kick the ball out of the box, but he actually ended up kicking Yamal, which forced a PK there. And in that instance, more likely than not, you're also expecting the goal kicker to actually make it because it's just in a bad spot for the goalie. It's really just a guessing game, 50-50, and really more. It's like of a 80-20 sense. So those two opportunities that Spain got, they absolutely capitalize on. And France, it really never felt like had a great opportunity to put some shots up. They had a couple of them, even on when it bounced off of a Spanish defender, where it felt like, oh, that one actually might be a goal for France late in the ball game. But there was just really nothing that went in France's way in yesterday. And I was talking with my French friends. I was like, "Are you good?" Because when I texted him before the match, I was like, "How you feeling? Are you nervous at all?" And he said he's not nervous at all. Thought that this was absolutely in the bag. And by the end of it all, he's like, "Yeah, they just did not bring it in today's match." So it was kind of a similar sense with the U.S. where against Belgium, where you were expecting something similar to what you had seen through the first 4 or 5 matches of this tournament, but really it was like a completely different team. But still, give credit to the teams that have advanced. So Spain had an absolute monster game.
This is what they've done in this World Cup. Okay, are you ready for this?
I am ready.
Okay, they started off the World Cup, which gave everyone the doubt, including myself, when they were with Cape Verde, and it was a 0-0 draw that went to, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, whoa, what's happening? This Spain team's not ready for this moment, right?
Yeah.
They responded, won their next match 4-0.
Yeah, they beat Saudi Arabia 4-0.
They beat Uruguay, who, by the way, is a 2-time World Cup champion, by the way.
Yeah,
historically.
They have a good history in the World Cup.
Good history. They're not very good this year, but historically. So they win that one 1-0. Then they get out of pool play. They take out Austria 3-0. They eliminate Ronaldo, send him on his retirement.
See you later.
1-0. They beat Belgium 2-1. They've taken out France 2-0. They've given up a total in 7 World Cup matches this year. During this cup, 7 matches, they've given up a total
of 2 goals.
Of 1 goal.
Or no, 1. I'm sorry. I was looking at, it was 1 goal.
1 goal.
And it was to Belgium 2 matches ago.
They've given up 1 goal in 7 matches. Cat, that's like 1985 Bears,
I was going to say that was
2000 Ravens
Bears. Yeah.
defense type of performances here that they're doing to make it to our football. 1 goal in 7 matches, and that's it. That's it. Not Mbappe in France, no goals. Not Ronaldo in Portugal, no goals. Like, that's on a ridiculous level.
Yes,
It's wildly impressive from them, and they've gotten better as the tournament has gone along.
Yeah, and through these 7 matches as well for Spain, you bring up the 1 goal given up, they've also scored 12 themselves. And that includes the first match. Like, even if you want to take away the first match,
they
against Cape Verde.
They scored a goal in that match.
Their average, if we're taking away the Cape Verde first match where it ended 0-0, no one scored, in the other 6, they have scored on average 2 goals and have given up 1 in 6. Yeah, like it's a 12-1 ratio so far. And we were talking about Mexico through the group stages when they had outscored them 8-0 in those 3 matches.
It is wildly impressive. Wildly impressive. So Spain punches their ticket to Sunday's World Cup final. We have the other semifinal today, the defending champs, Argentina and Messi, the GOAT. They're taking on England. Can England finally push through? Can they take down Argentina, who's been a thorn in their side in international play for decades? That'll be at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll unveil our poll question of the day. It's about the other major sporting event that's going to be beginning tomorrow, early in the morning for us. That's next.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Now is a great time to save at Southwest Volkswagen as summer is getting hot. Get the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas for only 0.9 APR for 48 months or take advantage of $3,500 in customer bonus cash. The Volkswagen Atlas with 3rd-row seating, amazing technology, and one of the most comfortable drives you'll experience. Don't wait. Get down to Southwest Volkswagen today. Located at 6184 Johnston Street in Lafayette, or you can give them a call, 337-895-0110 for more details.
ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Acadiana area businesses. Is it time to make an impact? Time for more traffic, more engagement, time for more customers? Then it's time to make a splash with Bass. Bass is now offering digital marketing, indoor and outdoor digital signage, billboards, and video production to help you reach more customers and close more business. For over 30 years, Bass has helped our customers tell their story. Bass Companies. Remember, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Advertise with Bass. Find us around Acadiana or at bassltd.com.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason, moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks and excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating at 337-367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating. Pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice. Those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit SugarlandExterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
One enjoys eating hot dogs and watching baseball. The other loves eating sushi and playing yogurt U-card games. Not sure exactly what that is, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, back to more RP3 and Meche.
Time for some golf.
That it is. The Open Championship, golf's fourth and final major, will be teeing off tomorrow from Royal Birkdale. And we got some, look, the field is stacked. It is a monster. And first tee comes at 1:35 Eastern, so 12:35 a.m. for us, by the way.
Oh, so I'll start to wind down.
You'll start to wind down. I'll be staying up and watching it as well.
I'll be starting to wind down when they start to tee off.
Now, your favorites, not surprisingly, your betting line favorites, as it is, this is courtesy of FanDuel. Scotty Scheffler is at plus 750. He's your top favorite. Behind him is Rory McIlroy, 950, plus 950. Tommy Fleetwood is plus 1,500. But then you got guys behind that. Matt Fitzpatrick is also at plus 1,500. John Rahm is at plus 2,000. Xander Schauffele behind him. Robert McIntyre, the former McNeese Cowboy, is plus 2,700 here. Your betting line favorite, he's the seventh best odds to win the Open Championship, is the former McNeese Cowboy, which is interesting. Behind Robert is Victor Hovland, Chris Gotterup, who I like a lot, by the way, Tyrell Haddon, Aberg, Justin Rose, Wyndham Clark, so forth and so forth down the list. If you go and you look across the board here and what people are saying, I go to CBS Sports because they're really locked in when it comes to golf, okay? They used their model. They have like a computer program that processes everything here. One major surprise the model is calling for at the Open Championship in 2026, Fleetwood, who is tied for the third lowest odds on the board at 1,500, stumbles and doesn't finish in the top five. He's a golfer to fade in Open Championship's best bets, which is interesting because he has a pair of top five finishes at the Open Championship in his career. But he's also missed the cut like he did in 2024 and finished outside the top 10 like he did last year. He finished 27th the last time the event was held at Royal Birkdale. Another surprise, Aberg is a top three contender on the projected leaderboard despite never having won a major and having longer odds at plus 3,300. This will be just his third British Open appearance, but he finished in the top 25 in the event last year, and he's been steady in the majors. So that leads us to our poll question of the day is, who will win the Open? Is it going to be Rory McIlroy? Is it going to be Scotty Scheffler? Is it going to be Tommy Fleetwood? or is it the field? And the most recent results, 66% are wise people. They vote just like RP3. You take the field.
The smart money
is taking the field. I don't love where Scotty's game's at right now. The way he performed at the Genesis Scottish Open last week was dreadful. He missed the cut. But he's still the world's number one ranked golfer. And he's still Scotty Scheffler. He's getting 17% of the vote. 17% of the votes going to the guy that's ranked number 2 in the world rankings and a guy that knows what it's like to hold up the claret jug. That's Rory McIlroy. I would not be surprised if Rory or Scotty win this thing. I would not be surprised if Tommy Fleetwood, the crowd would go berserk, by the way, there, if Tommy Fleetwood won it. But I'm picking the field, which I typically do
shocker
in these types of things. And as my brother-in-law just texted me, shout out to Robbie, listening. Shout out to Bro Bridge, too. That's where he lives. We're have a family get-together on Saturday, by the way, in the Bridge, there at his house. He brings up Chris Goddard, and I've talked about him on the show. The way his game has been, don't forget he won the Genesis Scottish Open last year, finished in 3rd place at the Open last year. He was in contention, and he's already won 3 times on the PGA Tour this year, including the Sony Open in Hawaii. He won the Waste Management Open in Phoenix, and then he won the John Deere Classic. This is a guy that's kind of built for this younger player, younger golfer rather, that's emerging. I like him a lot. He's my sleeper pick to win this. I also like Robert McIntyre, the former McNeese Cowboy. So I like more golfers that aren't on our poll question than I do the ones there. Even though I wouldn't be surprised, once again, if Scotty or Rory or Tommy won it. There's other guys that I like Robert McIntyre, like Goddard. I like Aberg as well. Pay attention as well to someone like Shane Lowry, who's won it before. How about Patrick Reed? I know we hate Patrick Reed because he's kind of a pissant, but he's a really good golfer. And he's been playing on the European Tour, which means he's been playing more link-style courses than the other former LIV guys. It's just something to keep in mind. And I'll give you another name that I kind of like. How about Sam Burns?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is Sammy going to break through here?
Sam has 50-1 odds.
Yeah, he does.
It's not the worst.
Not the worst. It's the same as he's got a little bit better odds than Patrick Reed does. So there's so many great golfers that are going to be in the field. I'm taking the field here on our poll question of the day. Let's get to the comments. JPK, the OD, says, always take the field. And, oh, by the way, only 60 days till the Saints take the field for their season opener. Shout out to JPK. On brand, our guy is. Boxcar, who was too busy to come on today to talk golf with me. He's got responsibilities and whatnot.
Loser.
He prefers Dawson over me. Dawson's a better golfer. I get it. I understand why Boxcar makes these decisions. He says the field, Matt Fitzpatrick for the dub.
At 18-1 odds.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right on the outside. I think, yeah, he could win this as well. Ton says, taking the field. In other news, Spain will win the World Cup. There we go. Keep those votes coming on our poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X as well. And you can leave your comments on our YouTube channel, which you can watch all of our live and local shows right there on YouTube, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, my crawfish pie. We're going to have something good for the people. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have something great for the people. And when I say something great, we're going to talk about Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season having arrived, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stocked with water, food, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio and make sure you have fresh batteries. That's very important. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The American League took home the Midsummer Classic crown last night after beating the National League 4-0. Yankees' Cody Bellinger and Ben Rice picked up back-to-back RBI to give the AL a 3-run lead in the first. Then in the 8th, Miguel Vargas hit a solo shot to left to seal the 4-0 win. The MLB All-Star break will continue today with the regular season getting back underway tomorrow night with the Phillies hosting the Mets. Spain is heading back to the World Cup final after knocking off France 2-0 yesterday in the World Cup semifinals in Dallas. With that win, Spain has now beaten France in 3 straight semifinal matches and will now play in the World Cup final for the second time in their history. Spain will get the winner of today's semifinal matchup between England and Argentina. The last time these two teams met was in 2005, while their last competitive matchup came in the group stage of the 2002 World Cup. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. LSU football has released the names of the 3 attendees that will be accompanying Coach Kiffin to Tampa Bay next week for SEC Media Days. Linebackers TJ Daugherty and Whit Weeks and tight end Trey'Dez Green will represent LSU at the podium. The Tigers are scheduled to speak next Thursday, the last day of the event. McNeese Athletics announced yesterday that they will have a new sponsorship patch on all jerseys for the upcoming year. Navarre Chevrolet, who also holds the naming rights to Cowboy Stadium, will have their sponsorship patch on all Cowboys and Cowgirls jerseys moving forward. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is packing its bags and headed to Tampa for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th, as RP3 and Meche and The Lowdown with D'Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Kick off the 2026 season in Tampa with ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Get ready for one of South Louisiana's favorite summer traditions. The 17th annual STM Fishing Rodeo is July 31st and August 1st at Quintana Landing in Sycamore Point. Whether you're chasing the winning catch or just looking for a great weekend on the water, enjoy great fishing, exciting prizes, delicious food, and a fun atmosphere, all while supporting St. Thomas More Catholic High School. Register by July 24th at noon to guarantee your official event t-shirt. Register today at stmcougars.net/fishing.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The Midsummer Classic was held last night there in Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia. And the American League did what they've done for the most part in the last 15 years or so. They beat the National League. 4-0 victory. They got 3 of those runs in the first inning, all with 2 outs. Played a little small ball there. It was just singles up the middle off of Philadelphia Phillies star and all-star starter, Mr. Sanchez. And then they added a late home run there in the 8th inning to make it 4-0. But the story from this game was how the American League pitching staff absolutely bodied the National League lineup. Like, bodied them. Would you like to get some stats from last night's game, James? Because I know you're a data-driven individual.
Yeah, did you want to look at the American League pitchers?
The American League used 11 different pitchers in this ballgame.
Yeah, it looks about right.
They combined to allow a mere 3 hits, one of those in the 9th, and they struck out 15 National League hitters.
In 138 total pitches, 94 of them were strikes.
They attacked the National League lineup. They went right at them, and it did not matter. And we're talking, these are not guys that are known for throwing unhittable 100-mile-per-hour fastballs either. Like, they're just good, crafty pitchers. And they went out there, and they made the National League lineup look silly. It was one of the most impressive team pitching performances in All-Star Game history. The 15 strikeouts, by the way, are 1 short of the 9-inning record, and the 3 hits allowed are tied for the second fewest ever in an All-Star game. These are the best of the best, and they looked lost. And when I say that it wasn't power pitching, despite the strikeouts, it wasn't. There was only one 100-mile-per-hour pitch the entire game for the American League. One. That's it. That's it. It did not matter. It did not matter. They went out there and they took care of business. 11 different pitchers. It was remarkable. Sanchez was one of the few stars of the pitching staff that were named All-Stars that actually pitched in this game. He pitched for the hometown Phillies, but he was wild in the first inning. He threw 34 pitches, walked 2 batters in 1 inning for just the second time this season. Yankee teammates Cody Bellinger and Ben Rice, both lefties, delivered RBI hits to give the AL a quick 3-0 lead before Philly fans could finish their cheesesteaks. That was another rarity for Sanchez, who allowed a 1.37 average to lefties in the first half of the season. Now, he got roughed up the last couple of times he was out before the break, but he looked lost on a personal level. Watching the Philly fans see their star pitcher struggle in the All-Star game, did it warm my heart at all? Yeah, it did.
Aw.
Yeah, it did.
Poor thing.
Dylan Cease, on the other hand, for the Toronto Blue Jays, he started things off for the AL, and then they went pitcher by pitcher by pitcher by pitcher by pitcher. Bellinger would earn MVP honors for his 2-out, 2-run single. And it's the first time since 1962 that 2 Yankees had an RBI in an All-Star game. I'll say that again, which seems fake.
Yeah, say that again.
It's the first time since 1962
Wow. Okay.
that two Yankees had an RBI in an All-Star game.
Huh.
That seems like a made-up stat, but it's not.
That seems wrong.
That seems wrong, but it's not.
Interestingly enough, looking at the American League's pitchers, with the 15 strikeouts compared to the 11 pitchers that went out there on the mound, the only guy that didn't record a strikeout was Tampa Bay's Brian Baker. And that's only because he went 1/3 of an inning to get that final out.
it was a masterclass of pitching. And credit the American League. They got enough timely hits. Like I said, the late home run to give them the insurance run. But the story of this game was also what didn't happen. I loved the All-Star game. I loved watching it. And I thought it was I always enjoy watching the All-Star game. No one is ever going to argue with me and tell me that I shouldn't watch the All-Star game, because I do. And no one does pageantry better in the Big Four sports than Major League Baseball. Like, no one knows how to do all the patriotism and the pageantry better than they do. No one does.
Can we talk about how each one of the guys that went out there signed a big Declaration of Independence?
That was amazing.
That was
by
awesome.
the way. The starting lineups come out, and the skipper and the starting nine sign like a big piece of parchment paper that looks like a Declaration of Independence, because obviously they're in Philly.
With the feather pen.
With the feathered pen. I love that. Baseball knows how to do this better than anybody else. And that was great. The Philly crowd was great. They were loud. I love the fact that the kids got to come out there too when they played the Ray Charles version of God Bless America, and they're out there, and the kids are getting to meet these pros. You see Mike Trout giving the kid like BP advice.
Yeah, teach him how to bat.
Yeah, that was it was wonderful from start to finish, with the exception of this.
Ooh.
Of the National League's top 10 pitchers in WAR, only 2 appeared in the game. And that was Christopher Sanchez and Luzardo. That was it. The Miz, he was interviewed on TV, didn't pitch. Paul Skeens, making his 3rd straight All-Star appearance, didn't pitch. He was on the red carpet with Livy Dunn, didn't pitch. Chase Burns, Ohtani, Yamamoto, Ashcraft, and Chris Sale, all of whom were National League All-Stars, but none pitched on Tuesday. Now, why is this? Part of this is because their teams are pitching them the Sunday or the Saturday before the All-Star game. So pitchers are on a rotation, right? They pitch and then they have so many days of rest before pitching again. So what's happening is that those teams who are designing themselves to win games, which is their job, right, are pitching these guys that are being named all-star starters or being named to the all-star team, and they're pitching them the Sunday, the last game before the break, or the next to last game before the break, which means that they're not going to be eligible to pitch during the all-star game, which I think is a little bogus. Maybe you don't have them out there throwing 35 pitches, James, but are you telling me that you couldn't bring in Paul Skeens or Miz to get to pitch against one hitter, at least in the game?
You couldn't have at least have them go out there, even if you want to put it on pinch count. Like, let's say let's say you only got like 10 to 15 pitches. You telling me we couldn't have got that? That's not going to affect them going into their Sunday matchup.
Correct. So even having them come out there now, you don't want, the thought process is you don't want them to pull something and get injured in the All-Star game. We saw that with the Tampa Bay Rays star Caminero got hit on the hand in an at-bat, had to leave the game immediately. Now, thankfully, X-rays are negative, so that's good there for that situation. But the rule is, and Rob Manfred even discussed this on Tuesday, because it's causing a bit of controversy, because you start finding out that many of these All-Stars aren't even taking part in the game, that Major League Baseball will need to reevaluate the rule that allows pitchers who pitch Sunday not to appear in the All-Star game. So as it stands right now, if you pitch on the last day before the break, you're not eligible to pitch in the All-Star game. So maybe this is a situation where instead, because you can't knock the teams for pitching their best pitchers because they're trying to win as many games as possible, right? That said, maybe they don't start. Maybe you put them in a pitch count. Okay, if your guy pitches on Sunday, we're going to regulate him to less than 10 pitches or less in the All-Star game. We'll bring him in relief, and he'll get one batter out or whatever it might be. You could do that, but you can't have, like, so many of the guys just sitting on the bench not doing anything.
Yeah, and I get if okay, look, I can understand the idea of, well, I don't want my star pitcher like Paul Skeens to get injured as we get into the second half of the season. But my thought process is, if they're going to go out there and have like the 15, 20 pitches, because you can look at the pitch count for each one of these pitchers. You got, by far and away, Sanchez was the one who led the way with 34, but everyone else was in the low to mid-teens or even lower. So if your pitcher goes out there on All-Star weekend and goes out there for the All-Star game and pitches his 10 to 15 pitches and ends up pulling something, to me, he was bound to pull it in that first or second start coming back anyway. So, like, to me, you just can't play scared in that sense. I understand you want to protect your players, but at the same time, if they're going to get injured, they're bound to get injured anyway. That's just how I see it. Maybe I'm flawed in that thought process, but at the same time, that's kind of the whole point. Like, you go out there and you play, and if you get injured, well, it's just bad luck, especially with like the freak accident that we saw where thankfully the test came back negative, but still, it's like you just can't play and prepare scared like that.
I agree. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But despite that, it didn't dampen my appreciation for watching the Midsummer Classic last night. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Dustin Media Corps is helping your kids head back to school in style, powered by Cosmetology School of Lafayette. This year, we want to ease the pain on the pocketbook for parents by giving away free haircuts on Wednesday, July 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is for kids from ages 5 to 12 only. A parent or guardian must be present and sign a waiver for a free haircut. So join us today at Cosmetology School of Lafayette at 5520 Johnson Street on Wednesday, July 22nd for a free, that's right, a free, no cost to you, back to school haircut.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Only the best of the best will stand proudly on the platform when Michael's Men's Club brings you the 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th. It's a special night of fun and games when the Stripper Olympics returns to Michael's Men's Club. Guys, it's a no-holds-barred competition. Ladies, you have a chance to win big if you're in the game. Michael's Men's Club invites you to battle it out in 3 categories. The pole, the floor show, and the most ancient art of them all, the lap dance. With $650 cash per category. First place overall gets $1,500. Second place overall gets $1,000. And third overall gets $500. That's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded. Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine. Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash. Guys, mark your calendar and tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics, Wednesday, July 15th, at Lafayette's premier gentlemen's establishment, Michael's Men's Club, Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5. live and show starts at 7 sharp. Tickets $30 at the door. Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
When it comes to the best boudin cracklins in Acadiana, just follow your nose to Billy's Boudin Cracklins. You know the original stuffed pepper jack boudin balls, award-winning boudin cracklins. But you gotta sink your teeth into their variety of fresh and smoked sausages. Stock up on the wide selection of specialty meats as well. They're available at all 4 locations of Billy's Boudin Cracklins: Opelousas, Scott, Lafayette. Or the Crot Springs location, now featuring a dine-in area with great burgers and much more cooked to order. Or visit online at billysboudin.com.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag Zero-Turn Lawnmowers.
You're listening to the 2026 LAB Award winner for Best Live On-Site Remote Super Bowl Radio Row coverage and Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative. Here on 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Wrapping up hour number 1 of RP3 and Mesh, and we'll do so by giving you an update on that poll question of the day. Of course, we asked you on Facebook and our next about the Open Championship and who you have winning it all. The 3 specific golfers that we gave you were Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, and Tommy Fleetwood. Or you could go with the obvious answer and the 99% of the time correct answer in the field.
There's one correct answer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
67% have gone in the direction of the field. No one has said Tommy, though. We've gotten some love for Rory, and we've gotten some love for Scotty. They both have the same percentage, about 17% apiece, but no one has voted for Mr. Fleetwood.
No one's done it. Got to keep those votes coming. Keep leaving your comments, by the way, on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Please make sure to go check that out because you can stream us, all of our live and local shows. Once again, I said it before. Am I going to be surprised if Scotty wins it? No. Am I going to be surprised if Rory wins it? No. Tommy winning it? Not a surprise. But you got Robert McIntyre. You got Goddard. You got John Rahm, if he can get his head together in a championship. What about Wyndham Clark? Wyndham Clark's coming off winning the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Morikawa. Like, you got some guys out there that are absolute beasts. Now, the great determining factor always for the Open Championship is the weather. No matter how good of a golfer you are, you're playing link-style course, and that wind that is going to be blowing through the course is going to wreak havoc on your game. So who makes the adjustments better with the conditions, with the deep bunkers and the severe wind and the damp conditions that are going to be there at Royal Birkdale? That's going to be the big question mark because every year guys roll in there and you're like, this guy's playing great golf right now. And then he goes and they play in the Open Championship and it's a whole different beast than what they're accustomed to on the PGA Tour and in the majors that are held here. Just is. Hour 1 is in the books. Hour number 2, we're going to kick it off talking New Orleans Pelicans with Ali Cassell. That's next. Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s. Every day, one thought haunts you. What if I stop? A 2026 British Medical Journal study says you're going to gain every pound back. So, what now? Well, there's an answer. Alex Goen patented hypnosis. The Journal of the American Medical Association says adding behavior therapy to GLP-1s produces 3 times the results than GLP-1s alone. And hypnosis is behavior therapy concentrated. Alex Go and Hypnosis is the only U.S. patented hypnosis proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office. Engineered to destroy cravings, make you full on half the food, and kill late-night fridge attacks. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome, 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The American League took home the Midsummer Classic crown last night after beating the National League 4-0. Yankees' Cody Bellinger and Ben Rice picked up back-to-back RBI to give the AL a 3-run lead in the first. Then in the 8th, Miguel Vargas hit a solo shot to left to seal the 4-0 win. The MLB All-Star break will continue today, with the regular season getting back underway tomorrow night with the Phillies hosting the Mets. Spain is heading back to the World Cup final after knocking off France 2-0 yesterday in the World Cup semifinals in Dallas. With that win, Spain has now beaten France in 3 straight semifinal matches and will now play in the World Cup final for the second time in their history. Spain will get the winner of today's semifinal matchup between England and Argentina. The last time these two teams met was in 2005, while their last competitive matchup came in the group stage of the 2002 World Cup. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. LSU football has released the names of the 3 attendees that will be accompanying Coach Kiffin to Tampa Bay next week for SEC Media Days. Linebackers TJ Daugherty and Whit Weeks and tight end Tradez Green will represent LSU at the podium. The Tigers are scheduled to speak next Thursday, the last day of the event. McNeese Athletics announced yesterday that they will have a new sponsorship patch on all jerseys for the upcoming year. Navarre Chevrolet, who also holds the naming rights to Cowboy Stadium, will have their sponsorship patch on all Cowboys and Cowgirls jerseys moving forward. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on RP3 and Meche as we broadcast live from inside the Beal & Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal & Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I am the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3. I'm joined in the studios by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Coming up, half an hour from right now, we're going to get a preview of the Open Championship, which tees off at 12:35 in the morning, our time.
Nice.
I got to make a decision. Do I stay up late and watch the beginning of it, or do I just wake up early? And I feel like I'm probably just going to wake up early.
I was going to say maybe what you do is,
because I can't do both. I'm pushing 50 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting closer and closer to the big 50. The body ain't built for that kind of life anymore. Staying up until like 2 o'clock and then waking up again like at 7.
It's not for the weak.
It's not for the old. That's what it's not for that. I'm just saying. Our poll question of the day, of course, is the Open Championship related. Who do you got? The Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, or the field? There's one correct answer. It's always the field. But keep voting and leaving your comments on Facebook, X, and on YouTube as well, because you can watch us there at ESPN Southwest Louisiana. It's time for us to bring on our first guest. He is a beacon of positivity and a sea of negativity. We're going to talk New Orleans Pelicans, going to talk NBA with our buddy Ollie Cassell. He joins us now to help us kick off hour number 2. Ollie, good day to you, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. Look, it's good to talk Pelicans because the regular season hasn't started. You're hopeful about several things, including what I'm seeing out of the guys as a team in Summer League.
There we go. A little Summer League stuff. There we go. Always positivity. Let's win that Summer League championship, huh? Let's get that banner ready. So, I want to start off. Let's start off there. What has stood out good to you with this Summer League roster and what they've been able to do? Obviously, no Queen, no fears, because they're going to be part of the rotation. They're going to be starters for this coming season, so they're not taking part in this. But what has stood out to you that's been immensely positive about what the Pelicans have been able to do so far in Summer League?
Yeah, in the past, usually you focus on an individual or two, right? Especially if you have a first-round pick, you focus on that guy. Well, the Pelicans don't have him. They had the 58th pick in Jaron Pierre, and we can talk about him later. But I'm more interested in just seeing what the team is doing under an entirely brand-new coaching staff. And based on what I'm seeing, I think it's having an effect where suddenly the team is fitting in more with the modern NBA style of play. I just did a quick check of the numbers, some basic stats, and you look at just three-point attempts, for instance. Last 3 years, they hovered right around 25 per game in the Summer League. Through 3 games, they're at 32, so 7 more. Same thing with turnovers. Turnovers are way down. Steals are way up. So you see this small team, and it really showed up in that first game. You're wondering, are they going to be able to get a rebound, stop a possession, and get on the offensive end? And how they're winning the possession game, it looks like, is just basically creating a sea of chaos and launching the threes so that it's a math game kind of in their favor. That's something we never saw during the entire Willie Green era. So I'm excited by it.
Lots of young talent, and you're seeing good things, which I like, and I like to see. What has stood out to you about the young man from St. Aug?
Yeah, so Jaron Pierre, first of all, boy, his athleticism, it really does jump off the page. You don't need to watch YouTube highlights. Just watch him move around in a Summer League game. It's effortless, right? His change of direction, the burst he has, but most importantly, the leaping ability. And then when you get past that, it's his three-point shot. It's a really good-looking shot, good form, gets good elevation. It's something that looks like that if he really was to work on it, he could become a really, an adept three-point shooter in this league, getting off his shot over pretty much any kind of defense. And, yeah, he struggled with his shot, Raymond. There's no doubt, right? I mean, last game, 5 of 17. But you see those glimpses, and that's where I think coaching, and if a player's dedicated in his craft, can make improvements. I'm giving him – look, he was a volume scorer in college. He's not going to be that in the NBA. I just don't see that. He's not enough of a playmaker. At best, he could be maybe a six-man off the bench. But I see a guy that could be, if he worked on his game, similar to a 3-and-D guy like Danny Green, about the same height, same athleticism, and look how his career panned out, right, especially with the Spurs. If Pierre wants to stay in the league, he's got the athletic tools, length, and such to follow in a similar path.
How much weight can we take from what we see in Summer League, because it's Summer League, right? So should we be a little bit, I'm not saying negative, but do we want to be a little bit more reserved on being as excited as we are from what we've seen from the Summer League team, because it is in fact just Summer League?
Well, yeah. Look, first of all, this roster, you're not going to see this roster, hopefully, in the regular season, right? Most of these players will not be in a Pelicans uniform. But given that, that's why I said I like to focus on the team stats, because that is a direct correlation to what the coaching staff is having these guys do. But from an individual aspect, for instance, there's some things like with Pierre, I just mentioned, his athleticism, it'll play anywhere. Now, what stands out to me that might be a negative, like some people might be getting, for instance, excited over Hunter Dickinson, right? And he looks good from the vantage point of being able to really spread the floor for a 7-footer. But what troubles me is it just is rebounding. If the ball doesn't come right to him, he's not getting the rebound, basically. And in the NBA, that doesn't work like that. So you look at that. Kobe Buffkin, for instance, really lit up the scoreboard in the first 2 games. He's not going to be playing against summer league type of defense if he gets a contract and plays in the regular season. And all you've got to do is look at his past numbers, right? He has struggled in the NBA. He has shined in summer league, even shined in the G League. So you wonder if that can maybe translate, but it hasn't in the past. So, yeah, there's definitely things you need to look for. But what you're looking for, Raymond, is just individual ability, right? And that's why, like I said, I concentrate on Pierre. I like what I'm seeing out of this kid, Malik Dia. 6'9". He's nimble. He's got a good-looking shot. A little bit of tunnel vision, right? Doesn't look to pass the ball, but, again, that might be worked out with coaching. And I like Melvin Council. I got to give him a shout-out. Played next to Darren Peterson last year at Kansas. I like him. There's something about him that screams, I'm going to do what it takes to win the game for you.
All right, Ollie, let's step away from the Summer League and all the good things that we're seeing from those young players. And let's talk about the news that continues to trickle out about this DeAndre Jordan contract. The money really doesn't stand out to me because it's essentially like vet minimum money, right? It's pretty much a wash. What's concerning to me is that the Pelicans front office, Joe Dumars and his right-hand man, thought there was such a demand for a 37-year-old backup center that appeared in 12 games last year that they needed to lock him up for 2 years, just not 1.
I don't mind it. In fact, I applaud the move because my understanding is there was interest in DeAndre Jordan. It does change. For instance, people have commented, well, he's only received and signed off on 1-year contracts for 5 years in a row. Well, most of those years was with the Denver Nuggets. And then last year, he didn't enter kind of the free agent market, right, until the regular season had started. So there were no suitors. But this year, there was a lot of suitors that really were kind of up against either the second apron or up against the luxury tax line that said, look at what this guy brings to a locker room, but also he can still play. We saw it. That athleticism is still there. So I guarantee you that the Lakers probably wanted to sign him, and it makes sense. Look, they've got lob threat. Luka Doncic always wanting to have a high flyer near the rim. Same thing with Austin Reeves. So you don't want – and look who they ended up with, Kevon Looney, right? A guy who I honestly don't think offers much in terms of league. But if they signed him, that's telling me a lot. Same thing with the Knicks, right? They weren't able to re-sign Robinson. They're up, especially after, signing Landry Shamet, give an extension to Jose Alvarado. They needed vet minimum. They got Andre Drummond, but I hear they still want another veteran minimum center. Those teams are out there looking for those type of centers. And look, if you're DeAndre Jordan, where would you rather live, right? I'd pick New York or L.A. for not just the weather. And look, remember, DeAndre Jordan, that was his home in L.A. He played with J.J. Redick for 4 years. But also, it's just a better lifestyle because you're going to be competing for a championship. That's not going to happen here in New Orleans. So I can't blame the Pelicans for wanting to keep him, making sure they keep him by not putting him in that position to have him choose. Well, I think he probably would have elected to go somewhere else.
Okay. Let's say I buy into that. When Joe D sat with the media, including yourself, on exit interview day, I want to bring up this quote. I would add more toughness to this team. We have to be able to compete every night. We cannot get banged around, pushed around. Too many nights we didn't compete at a high enough level for me. You can't get past that in this league. You can't skip that. That's a pretty straightforward quote about that his team lacked toughness. And you're going to bring back the same exact team that lacked toughness last year, and that's the team that you're going to put on the floor. I'm confused.
Two things. Yeah. Raymond, two things. Yeah, and it is troubling, but here's two things. Right after he said that, he then talked about the guys needing to get into the weight room, and that's what they've done. Second thing, of course, is this off-season period hasn't even come close to finishing yet, right? It's going to go all the way up to media day, and that's why I'm still eyeing certain scenarios.
Okay.
Look, I think the Pelicans are still going to add a center. I really do.
Okay.
And you've got to get off of Jordan Poole. So it makes sense. Miles Turner's still sitting there. I still wonder if they can get Wendell Carter, right? Jamal Mosley's center in Orlando. They've got a surplus of them. And then Jalen Duren, that has not been resolved yet in Detroit. In fact, I feel like there's growing friction there because it's been quiet, right, for over a week now.
Oh, okay.
And when you and then, sorry, Raymond, I just want to say Duren, big ties to Troy Weaver. And there's another player out there, Benedict Mathurin, another one that was supposedly very much liked by Weaver, and he hasn't been re-signed by the Clippers. So there's certain balls still in the air. They're really floating out there. That makes me think that the Pelicans, they're still sizing up what needs to be done, but we need LeBron to choose a destination. I think that is partially holding some things up. I really do.
And speaking of LeBron, Ollie, at this point in time, I mean, we're on the decision of 3 by LeBron to end off his career. I know he said he wants to have more fun, so to me, I would think he'd want to just go play with Steph and go to Golden State. I know he's down to quote-unquote 7 teams. I don't believe that. But he said it's going to be as early as tomorrow that he would make a decision. When are you actually expecting this to happen, and do you have a team as like a favorite to land LeBron to end off his career?
Yeah, I believe that the decision's coming soon because that's been now kind of the messaging for the last 48 or so hours. And I do believe it's the Warriors. I've never moved off of that. I clearly think there's smoke screen involving other teams. And he did the same thing in 2018 when he signed, 4-year max with the Lakers. But I heard that, like, for instance, going to play with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in Philadelphia, that was all just smoke back then. So I'm kind of thinking this is the same. Because Rich Paul, he's got other clients in the league, and you've got to consider that. And you're not going to shun Cleveland because that's your hometown. He never wants to do that. But at the end of the day, I always think it was going to be the Warriors, and there were signals from the Warriors with Draymond Green opting out. This was weeks ago that it just seemed like they were getting ready to do something big. And, of course, the big thing has to be LeBron, you think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think Draymond also, not only did he decline his $27.7 million option so he could take less money so that they would have more to offer to LeBron to make it more enticing. I think he also offered up his number 23 jersey so LeBron could wear that as well, and he'll just go with something else. So it feels like they're doing all that they can to be like, LeBron, come on down to Golden State. You can play with the guy that you've always wanted to play with in Steph Curry. I mean, he's been talking about that for years.
Yep. It's close to his hometown of L.A., right, San Francisco. The fact that he's now become an avid golfer. Steph's a huge golfer. I hear so's Draymond Green, Steve Kerr. And, of course, the wine. I mean, we know how much he likes to drink his wine. And, again, all of those guys do as well. So when he says fun, that's what I'm thinking. That wouldn't be a better, I think, situation for him and even his family. If he's got to leave L.A., San Francisco makes all the sense in the world.
I'm still not a fan of the Jaylen Brown trade, but has your mind, your feelings towards the move changed with more information in the days and weeks since it went down?
No, I still hate it for Boston. I still feel terrible for their fans. They didn't get enough for him. They simply, too many people brought up analytics. And as we all know, analytics is just a part of the game. There's so much more that's involved in winning the game. I don't think it measures clearly Jaylen Brown's leadership, his durability, and, of course, in big moments to come up clutch on either side of the ball. So, no, I just think it's a kind of a smokescreen for the fact that Boston, they're being cheap. They let Drew Holiday and whoever else they let go a summer ago. Now it's Jaylen Brown. Again, I don't like it. Now what's the messaging saying? Let's build a team around Jason Tatum. How much sense does it make for a guy coming off an ruptured Achilles, right? A lot of players can come back, but they're not exactly 100%, and usually their careers don't last much longer. So none of it really still makes sense to me. It's a bad move.
Yeah, they're getting cheap because the investment makers are now the new owners or whatever they are. And I'm like, this is like anytime you go cheap with something, more likely than not, if your ultimate goal is to win a championship, you're not going to get it done by being cheap. So, I mean, this is just utterly frustrating. And then for it being Paul George, like, If it was 5 years ago, it'd be more understandable. But at the same time, Philly couldn't have gotten off of that contract if they were like, don't even give us anything, just take him. They couldn't have got it done, and all of a sudden they sent him to Boston, and he's the headline of the trade. I cannot believe it.
No, look, the Clippers, smart run team, just didn't even bother trying to re-sign him. Philadelphia, you're right, they were stuck with him. And the fact people are just pointing to him having, a decent run at the very end of the season, maybe a playoff series. Again, we all know season's 82 games long, and as a team like Boston, if Tatum's got to miss some games, who are they going to rely on? Paul George, when he's been reliable in the past, like you just mentioned, does not have a track record of it. So, no, I don't like it. I'm sorry. I know you're a Celtics fan, and I guarantee you Celtics fans should probably stay irate for a while. This one was terrible.
It's time for Peyton Pritchard to take over. That's what I'm having to rely on at this point. And Derek White. Ollie, we appreciate you coming on. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there, covering the Pelicans and watching and covering over the NBA as a whole. We'll get you back on soon. All right, bud?
All right. Thanks, guys. Stay cool.
We're going to try to in this summer heat. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more RP3 Meche after this. You're listening to ESPN, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Maybe I can eat away through my sadness. Maybe with an eating contest. Speaking of eating contests, how about this? Small sliders. How many of those do you think you can eat? Well, you can find out by taking part in this Lafayette Small Sliders Eating Contest held during the Lafayette Anniversary Bash on Saturday, July 25th at 4611 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. During the location's Anniversary Bash, which also features bounce houses and games for the kids, live music, and more, there will be, of course, the coveted Small Sliders Eating Contest, where you can score a cash prize. Man, could go for some extra money. To sign up to see if you have what it takes to win the contest, visit ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com and click on the Small Sliders sign-up sheet.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen Patented Hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
One is known far and wide for his luscious head of hair.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time.
The other wishes he still had his. Back to more RP3 and Meche.
I'm not surprised that our guy Ollie was high on
Jerome Pierre Jr.
Look. I will give credit where credit is due. The Pels have looked good in summer league play, but winning the summer league is not the goal.
That's not any sort of indication as to what you're looking for in the long term. It doesn't correlate necessarily.
Correct. It does bring up a point, though, and I forgot to ask him this. If you're going to go, they want to go get one of the centers from Orlando, right? That played for Mosley. That makes sense. He also mentioned that they could be in the mix for the guy for Detroit.
Yeah, Jalen Duren, which I've brought up before as an option
Correct.
as well.
But there's no way that you're going to get him by trading them Poole, right? Like, best case scenario, you're going to have to give up Trey to go get Duren, right?
Well, the thing is, if the feud continues to boil over there in Detroit, then it kind of becomes more and more apparent that, yeah, if you're not going to be able to get a long-term deal done, then the best thing to do is just trade them before you only are going to get legit like pennies on the dollar. So the cost for it may not be as high as you maybe expect, because at the same time, whoever trades for Duren is going to have to sign him to that contract extension.
Correct.
So at that point in time, it actually may not take as much as you think other than Poole, because we're also doing this trying to kill two birds with one stone in a sense, trying to get the center, but also trying to get off of Jordan Poole. If you are able to do so, you give up Poole. It would probably cost close to the same on the books anyway. Like, if Detroit had to give the contract extension to Duren, because remember, Duren had just an utterly terrible playoff run with the Pistons, and that's why we're kind of in this sense anyway, because Detroit doesn't necessarily want to give him that extension. If they were to give him that anyway, it'd be probably close to what Jordan Poole is going to get this next year anyway in the $34 million. So you kind of almost have a wash in that sense. You kind of lower yourself at the 5, but you then, I guess you could say, give yourself more depth and maybe slightly increase the guard play. So you probably don't give up as much as you would think. Maybe like a first-round pick, but maybe I don't know, because at the same time, the NBA market for players is just so wishy-washy. Like, just when we think this is how much a player should go for, it goes in the complete opposite direction. Like, we look at these role players that are good at 3-and-D, like Desmond Bane and Mikal Bridges and others. Like,
and
those guys are elite
picks, but then other guys don't get anything.
Yeah, because I've noticed a trend where these elite role players, not elite players overall, but elite role players and what they do to help a team kind of come together in a sense.
So let me ask you
those guys
this.
are going for more than the quote-unquote superstars.
So let me ask you this. If you can get Duren, who's technically a center, right, do you send back to Detroit, you go, hey, we'll take on Duren, we'll give him the contract extension, because obviously that's going to have to be part of it, but you send them Poole, and they can do a salary dump with him if they want to, right? But you're going to have to throw in Meche.
Which is interesting, because I remember the Knicks...
Because they're high on him, right? That's their young post player. But if they're in the market for a center and you can go get a guy like Jalen Duren, then you probably give up on the project and put him as part of the project, because the Pistons would want to have him on that rookie deal.
Well, also think about it like this. I know they don't want to necessarily get rid of Meche, because even the Knicks were saying, like, hey, we'd like to trade for Meche, and I believe the Pelicans said, no, we're good. If Meche were to be a part of the trade, you could look at it like this. Duran's your starter. That pushes somebody to the bench, unless they end up trading someone else like DeJounte or whoever. But at that same time, you could line it up towards Derek Queen is actually now your backup center, and then Carlo Makovic and DeAndre Jordan are your third and fourth option at the 5. That could be how it plays out in that sense.
Good.
These are all scenarios, and these are all hypotheticals right now because nothing has come into play, but this is the different avenues that we could look at.
If you could get Duran and keep Trey, that would be a huge move for the Pelicans. Like, that would be a move where I would go, okay, I see your vision now. Because then you're going to have DeJounte Murray. You have DeJounte Murray and Trey, Herb Jones, Zion, and then Duran would be your starting 5, right? You'd have Fears and Queen coming off the bench as your 5 and your 6 and your 7 players, right? Now I can start seeing a vision here of what you're wanting to do. And to make a move like this, because obviously Joe's right-hand man, Troy, was in Detroit. He's the one that drafted Duran. So, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, if that's the type of move that you're going to be able to pull off, you keep Trey and you go get Jalen Duran, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah. I wonder who gets pushed to the bench. I feel like unless they trade Herb or Trey, like, as another move before the season starts, someone's going to have to come off the bench.
What do you mean? You have Trey play the 2 and Herb play the 3.
But I'm thinking it would probably just have to be Sadiq that comes off the bench. But Sadiq was awesome for them last year, so I don't know if that's necessarily what they want to do. But like, who knows?
But who knows? But you give yourself more talent. So I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. So we'll see. Once again, hypothetical situations here. So we'll see what happens. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to get a preview of the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale, and we'll talk a little LSU with our buddy Scott Rabelais of the Baton Rouge Advocate. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
If you're needing to get yourself a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or maybe picking up a new handgun to protect your home and your family, or you're just running low on ammo, go see my friends over at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and they have a tremendous selection of both new or used handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammo, suppressors, and even apparel. And they pride themselves on spending their money locally because they're a small business themselves. That's why they've teamed up with a local finance company that's currently offering 0 down and same as cash for 1 year. That's right. If you're a little short on cash, you can finance your guns, ammo, and even suppressors. Go see my friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today, and tell them RP3 sent you.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The American League took home the Midsummer Classic crown last night after beating the National League 4-0. Yankees' Cody Bellinger and Ben Rice picked up back-to-back RBI to give the AL a 3-run lead in the first. Then in the 8th, Miguel Vargas hit a solo shot to left to seal the 4-0 win. The MLB All-Star break will continue today, with the regular season getting back underway tomorrow night with the Phillies hosting the Mets. Spain is heading back to the World Cup final after knocking off France 2-0 yesterday in the World Cup semifinals in Dallas. With that win, Spain has now beaten France in 3 straight semifinal matches and will now play in the World Cup final for the second time in their history. Spain will get the winner of today's semifinal matchup between England and Argentina. The last time these two teams met was in 2005, while their last competitive matchup came in the group stage of the 2002 World Cup. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. LSU football has released the names of the 3 attendees that will be accompanying Coach Kiffin to Tampa Bay next week for SEC Media Days. Linebackers TJ Daugherty and Whit Weeks Athletics and tight end Trey'Dez Green will represent LSU at the podium. The Tigers are scheduled to speak next Thursday, the last day of the event. McNeese Athletics announced yesterday that they will have a new sponsorship patch on all jerseys for the upcoming year. Navarre Chevrolet, who also holds the naming rights to Cowboy Stadium, will have their sponsorship patch on all Cowboys and Cowgirls jerseys moving forward. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is packing its bags and headed to Tampa for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th, as RP3 and Meche and The Lowdown with D'Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Kick off the 2026 season in Tampa with ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan.
ESPN 103.7 KLWB FM and 104.1 KLCJ FM are properties of Delta Media Corporation, Southwest Louisiana's only locally owned and operated premier multimedia company with radio, television, and digital properties. ESPN 103.7 and 104.1 often conducts promotional contests on the air and on our digital platforms to include ESPN SouthwestLouisiana.com and the ESPN Text Club. In order to participate in any contest promotion, you must be at least 18 years of age and reside within the broadcast coverage area of ESPN. Only one winner per household for 30 days. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Winners agree to pay any taxes or fees related to a prize as noted in contest rules. Winners also agree that ESPN Southwest Louisiana has permission to use their name, likeness, portrait, recorded voice, or other biographical material to promote the station and participating sponsors. Employees, family members, and sponsors of ESPN Southwest Louisiana and Delta Media are not eligible to participate in any promotional contest. A complete list of rules can be found online at ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com or available to view at the main offices of Delta Media Corporation during operating business hours, located at 3501 Northwest Evangeline Thruway, Carencro.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
It's an update on the poll question of the day. As we're efforting to get Scott Rabelais on, we're texting him, but we can't get him on the actual phone line. So we're going to try to work on that. As I try to get in touch with him, James, can you give us an update on the poll question of the day and any comments?
Yeah, as of right now, looking at the latest update for the poll question of the day, we had asked you on Facebook and on X about the Open Championship and who do you think's actually going to win it all. The individual golfers were Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, and Tommy Fleetwood. But of course, as it normally goes, we also give the fourth option of being the field. The field has 2/3 of the votes. It's heavily leading the way. Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler both have votes. I do wonder if Scotty can actually bounce back because he hasn't looked as great as of late. He hasn't been on necessarily the dominant run that he had been on the last handful of years. He's still ranked as the number one golfer, but he's definitely been on a little bit of slide. Let's see if he can get off the schneid this weekend. No votes, though, towards Tommy Fleetwood. No one wants to vote for him. We got towards the comments earlier, but we do have one on Facebook that comes from our guy, Greg. Speaking of Scotty Scheffler, he does say that Scotty is due. So it is something that does stand out that maybe he actually can bounce back. Rory recently won. Tommy's been looking good. Scotty, we'll see if he can bounce back. But there are plenty of other guys out there that could very easily win this one, especially when you look at the odds. Could it be some of our local guys? Maybe Rob McIntyre from McNeese? Could it be Sam Burns from LSU? Those two guys are very legit options as well, and we could ask about that with Scott when we can get him on. But as of right now, no. Still leading the way heavily is the field, which should always be the case. We'll have those every once in a while where someone that we actually put out there, like we'd seen with Scotty when he was an option, was kind of like the an exception to the rule in a sense, I guess you could say. With the last handful of times that he had won, you could easily pick on him. But definitely feels like this is the perfect time, as per usual, that you could pick the field.
Yes. And I just feel that way as well. So we're going to keep those votes coming on the poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. And we're going to head out to the hotline and welcome on our second and final guest today. He is the award-winning columnist and reporter for the Baton Rouge Advocate and NOLA.com. He covers LSU. He covers the world of golf. Our good friend Scott Rabelais joins us now. Rabs, good day to you, my friend. How's your summer going, buddy?
It's been a little busier than I expected. A little vacation, a little World Cup, a lot of World Cup games. Combination of those two, actually, were part of it. And now we're getting ready for SEC Media Days next week. The football season will be here for me. Once we get to Media Days, football season is starting. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, it will be here in no time. I wonder if anyone's going to want to talk about LSU while we're in Tampa next week, but I just wonder about that.
No, not at all. Very boring.
It is. Look, you've been doing this a long time, and you've covered a lot of coaches, a lot of different teams, a lot of administrators. This whole situation with how this went down and Lane Kiffin and the governor being involved, and now we have meetings that are going to be held at the mansion talking about new fundraising efforts and all this other stuff. I just have you ever seen anything like this?
I've been covering LSU football since 1992. I've seen them come, I've seen them go, and in LSU, everything from losing seasons, going 2-9 my first year covering them to of course winning three national championships. But no, this is like combining I don't think we've ever seen a personality like Lane Kiffin, but the intensity and this is more than it was for Nick Saban. When he arrived, when Saban arrived, it's like, well, everybody says he's going to be great. Is he going to be great? And but he wasn't this outsized personality. But the governor is involved in a way that I don't think we've seen the Louisiana governor involved in LSU football since John McKithen back in the late 60s, early 70s. And, certainly reminds people of Huey Long. And just obviously no one is neutral on Lane Kiffin. And obviously there's a lot of people who paint him and LSU as villains, the way he left Ole Miss. And obviously LSU fans kind of eat that up. They kind of like being the dark, wearing the black hats as far as the SEC teams go. So I can't think of anything quite like it. But the whole thing at LSU right now, I mean, rehiring the coach that you fired in men's basketball, that's, the only thing close to that is Jay McCreary was fired, and then LSU hired Chris Maravich, and he kept him as an assistant coach, which I can't imagine doing. This was the first year ever, Raymond, that LSU first athletic year. LSU fired the football coach, the men's basketball coach, and the athletic director all in the same athletic year. So it's been a completely unprecedented time for sure, all across the board.
All right, buddy, I want to turn our attention to golf's fourth and final major, the Open Championship. First and foremost, should I just stay up late and watch the beginning of it? That's going to start at 12:35 in the morning, or do I just wake up early and catch some of the action before I get ready for my day? What do you recommend?
Well, if you value sleep, then obviously you'll just wake up early and get some action. Some of us will be watching it late at night, and I got my three grandsons spending the night tomorrow night, so I'll be up early Friday morning, whether I want to or not. So I might as well watch some golf. So yeah, I mean, you got to be a real diehard, just total golf nerd to want to get up in the middle of the night and watch the British Open. But I will. I'm excited about it. It's the last major of the year. Like I said, football season is about to start. Yeah. Give me all the major championship golf I can get.
All right, let's break it down. How much stock are you taking in the way Scotty performed at the Genesis Scottish Open, where he did not make the cut?
I think some. I mean, I don't think you can discount that. I mean, especially since the course, it's similar course conditions. I mean, that's why a lot of these guys play in the Scottish Open now, right? To get a feel for playing a different style of golf. Although that was Scotland and this is England, but it's pretty close. It's been a year of almost, but not quite for Scheffler. Obviously, he finished second in the Masters. He won way back in the early part of the season in Palm Springs. Just lost the playoff, but he just lost the playoff in Hartford. Missed a putt in the extra holes, sudden death, losing to Victor Hovland. And he's been close a lot of times. Just something does seem a little off with his game, and I don't think with the course conditions we're going to see at Royal Birkdale with the runoff. I think I don't know what the winning score is going to be, but I do think mishit shots will be punished severely with runoffs. I mean, it could run way off into way away from the green or way off into a bunker, and those steep face bunkers in the British Isles. So, he's still the favorite. He's still the betting favorite for a lot of people, and I get that. But I don't think he's going to win. I think it continues to be kind of a frustrating year by Scotty Scheffler's standards, which have been Tiger Woods-esque. He won two majors last year, won the British Open last year. But I think this could be. I just don't see him winning. Of course, that means, he probably will win by 6.
Who do you like more, Rory or Tommy? I know the easy answer is to say Rory because he's won multiple majors. He's number 2 in the world. But, man, that crowd would go absolutely nuts if Tommy Fleetwood wins the Claret Jug.
Well, he's a local boy, right? I mean, he grew up in that area and used to sneak onto Royal Birkdale, take his play. He's. I think it'd be more Tommy Fleetwood. I don't think he's going to win either, though. I know he won the Tour Championship last year and is a very popular win. He's a very popular player, and it would be a cool story. I think Matt Fitzpatrick is my favorite. I'm not alone in that. Certainly, I think a lot of people are picking him. He's had a great year, including winning the Zurich Classic with his brother Alex. He's won 3 times on the PGA Tour. Won the U.S. Open a few years ago. He's from England. It would be a great story. I'm kind of the guy I'm kind of pulling. I wouldn't mind seeing Fleetwood win, though. A guy I'm kind of pulling for is Justin Rose. So, he's getting has to be near the end of his career as far as a major championship contender. I remember when he was 18 years old and finished like 3rd or 4th in the British Open as an amateur, pitched in on the last hole, and it was just this great story. This fresh-faced kid you never heard of. He had this amazing week, and he's come so close. I mean, he's won the U.S. Open, yes, in 2013. He's come so close to the Masters the last couple of years, and I'd like to think golf owes him another major. And as an Englishman, went to win in England, I think it would be he would be such an honor for him. Not that he's had a terrible career. been a gold medalist in the Olympics and been world number one and won a bunch of times around the world. But I'd like to see him win. But Tommy Fleetwood would be a great story. But Matt Fitzpatrick is my pick.
I like Matt Fitzpatrick a lot here to win this. I'll tell you another guy that I like a lot. He's already won 3 times on tour this year. He finished in 3rd place last year at the Open. He won the Genesis Scottish Open last year, and that's Chris Gotterup. His game is really, really good, and I think he could be a sneaky under-the-radar guy this week. What says you?
If you're looking for a player to break through and win that first major, you could do a lot worse than Chris Gotterup. Yeah, he's certainly proven himself. Yeah, he's been really great all year long. Hits the ball a long way. You know, is he going to? The driver is not going to be that important this week. Guys are talking about hitting 290-yard 4-irons and stuff like that because the ball just runs and runs and runs. And you got to keep the ball out of the. I know the rough is kind of burnt out because of the dry conditions, but you still got to keep the ball on these hard baked fairways. And so, is he the kind of player who's going to excel in those kind of conditions? I don't know. I think we could see some surprises on the leaderboard. Guys who are just like links golf players, kind of like clay court specialists in the French Open, right? Yeah, they don't win, the hard courts, but they're great on the clay courts. I think you're going to see some players like that. But overall, just as someone who's on form and that has the fast track record, playing well over in the British Isles, I think you could do a lot worse than Chris Gotterup. If you want to pick a guy who's going to be a first-time major champion, you could certainly do worse than picking him this week.
All right, buddy, I'll get you out of here with this. We got 2 guys that have connections with the state of Louisiana that are in the field, and I like their chances. Robert McIntyre from McNeese. I was surprised how high he is on the betting line here. And then, of course, Sam Burns, who came pretty close at the U.S. Open. You like their chances this week? And if not, why?
I think McIntyre, yes. He's like I say, from Scotland. Horses for courses, right? He grew up playing in these kind of conditions. And he's a very talented golfer. So I like him. Sam Burns just coming off the birth of his second child, a little girl. And so she was born just on July 3rd, so just like 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. So he probably hasn't been playing and practicing that much. I mean, he's been getting closer in majors, obviously. I mean, if Wyndham Clark didn't just putt out of his mind, like I've never seen someone one putt, to win the U.S. Open, Sam would have won the U.S. Open at Shinnecock last month. So I just wonder what kind of form is he going to be on, because he hasn't been playing. He can't have been practicing very much either. So if you had to make me pick, I would certainly pick Robert McIntyre as someone who definitely could win. Sam would be a little more of a surprise to me under the circumstances if he won this year. But he is getting closer to winning that first major, and he has the game to win a major championship anywhere. He was in contention a couple of years ago at the British Open, and I think he could be again under the right circumstances. I just don't think this is going to be the year.
Rabs, always appreciate your time, buddy. Can't wait to catch up with you in person next week in Tampa, my friend. Safe travels, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll see you in Tampa. New venue for the media days, and it's going to be exciting. They're saving some of the biggest names for last, right? Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian. They're saving them for the last day, but we'll be there all week.
That's right, brother. Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
We got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show and get you set up for the Lowdown with D-Lo live from New Orleans for Sunbelt Conference Football Media Days. That's next.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Lose weight with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
This is Lisa Stofan. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods. I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight.
The only weight loss method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Engineered to kill cravings, emotional eating, and late-night fridge attacks. Get full on half the food so you lose the weight and you keep it off. 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever your goal. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 11 a.m. Stop smoking at 2 p.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com. alexgoen.com.
ESPN 1037 KLWB FM and 1041 KLCJ FM are properties of Delta Media Corporation, Southwest Louisiana's only locally owned and operated premier multimedia company with radio, television, and digital properties. ESPN 1037 and 1041 often conducts promotional contests on the air and on our digital platforms to include ESPN SouthwestLouisiana.com and the ESPN Text Club. In order to participate in any contest promotion, you must be at least 18 years of age and reside within the broadcast coverage area of ESPN. Only one winner per household for 30 days. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Winners agree to pay any taxes or fees related to a prize as noted in contest rules. Winners also agree that ESPN Southwest Louisiana has permission to use their name, likeness, portrait, recorded voice, or other biographical material to promote the station and participating sponsors. Employees, family members, and sponsors of ESPN Southwest Louisiana and Delta Media are not eligible to participate in any promotional contest. A complete list of rules can be found online at ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com or available to view at the main offices of Delta Media Corporation during operating business hours, located at 3501 Northwest Evangeline Thruway, Carencro.
Imagine a place where wellness, luxury, and community come together. Welcome to City Club at River Ranch, Acadiana's premier private club. Enjoy a state-of-the-art fitness center, exceptional tennis and pickleball programs, resort-style amenities, and a vibrant social atmosphere. Whether you're pursuing your fitness goals or expanding your social circle, City Club offers an unmatched member experience. Visit cityclubatriverranch.com today. City Club at River Ranch, where lifestyle meets distinction.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Oh, you heard Rabs and I talking about it in the last segment, and we are going to be in Tampa next week for SEC Media Days. RP3 and Meche and the Lowdown with D-Lo will be broadcasting live from Tampa for SEC Media Days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, all of our SEC Media Days coverage is powered by our friends at Service Chevrolet Cadillac. In addition to those live shows, don't forget that we will be providing boots-on-the-ground daily reports every single day, Monday through Thursday, for the Jordy Holberg Show and for Footnotes. So kick off the 2026 season in Tampa with us starting next week on Monday. I want to take a moment to thank our guest, Ali Cassell, talking Pels, talking NBA with him, and, of course, Scott Rabelais, our friend from The Advocate, talking the Open Championship as well as a little LSU. I wonder if LSU will be talked about a lot next week in Tampa. I just don't know. Maybe? What you think?
We might have to set an over-under on mentions.
It's going to
be like 150 mentions.
Man,
over-under.
I've been there for I've been there for Brian Kelly, and now I'm being there for Lane. And I have a funny feeling that the Lane train is going to be the most interesting SEC Media Days one yet.
All aboard.
All aboard. Hey, tomorrow we got a great show lined up for you. We got Bob Nightingale from USA Today to talk Major League Baseball at the break. Dave Schultz, our old buddy from the Locked On Sunbelt podcast, will get his thoughts about what's going on down there in New Orleans for Sunbelt Conference Football Media Days. And then, of course, Danny Broussard, the STM coach. Well, he's also the man behind the STM Fishing Rodeo. We're going to have him on talking about that great event that's coming up. And that's going to do it for us for today. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, 11 to 1. But until then, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Up next is the Lowdown with D-Lo, live from New Orleans for Sunbelt Conference Football Media Days, right here on Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Brobridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Brobridge Highway and on the banks of the